Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Infinifactory. It's time for us to do another puzzle. As always with these videos, if you're enjoying them, feel free to leave a like. It does make a big difference here on the channel. And today's puzzle is going to be Terrestrial Surveyor. That sounds like some sort of machine with wheels that will go around and survey the area. Let's have a look at what's out here. Do we have an event log to listen to? Is there an asteroid that looks like a temple? That's something that we were looking out for, something that was mentioned in one of the logs. So I don't see anything to investigate here at the moment. And let's go and have a look at what it is we've got to create. So, oh, there we go, we do have one. Okay, let's click on new, play failure log.
I miss having someone to talk to. Remember Floyd? Poor Floyd. I liked hearing his voice. It made it a little less lonely out here. And these goddamn aliens just left him to die. What a-holes. It sure isn't how I want to go. And that poor dog, too. I think it was a golden retriever. They're so sweet. How could they do that to a dog? See? Total a-holes.
Oh, poor little doggy. Yeah, we saw that guy earlier on. And yeah, it looks like we're going to have to make a group of 3 over here. Separate them into 2, bring them along to the middle somewhere perhaps. And then, over here we're going to have to make a block of 4 out of this, put that thing on top, and then combine it all together. It's going to be an interesting one. Not too sure how to get started here, and maybe we should have possibly put this closer to the middle, you know, compactness and all that kind of stuff, but not too sure I want to focus on that too much anymore. Just going to want to solve the puzzles at this point. So anyway, I'll get my head stuck into this one and see where it takes us. So I'm very fond of this solution. I'm sure we've done something similar to this before, but if we play the game, then it rolls out and it gets caught on this bit, and then when the next one pushes it, it separates them. And that way we've got them coming out at a decent pace there. You know, not having anything back up or buffer or anything like that, which is cool. So now on to the other side. It looks like these come out a lot more frequently. I'm going to guess once again they come out at the right pace to join them all together. So we want to do something like this where we join them nice and efficiently. Okay, I believe where we're going with this has potential. I was initially looking at sort of letting them drop in and push each other over, and then using the piston setup where you push out the shape that you want onto a welder, but then I thought, well, this thing's coming around pretty quickly, and I think actually because it comes out immediately, it's going to provide a little bit of a challenge there, which might might mean we need some sort of buffer system. Anyway, here's what I'm thinking. This thing's going to need some support, but if we put on, let's see, we're going to have a piston to push it over. Need to make sure I get this all at the right height here, and I've clicked the wrong button. It's funny, you change the controls around, then you start using the correct ones. So if we have a piston here, that's going to put it onto that conveyor belt and drop it on top of exactly where we want it to go. At which point we can have pistons push out from the side. So it's kind of similar to what we were doing before, but a little bit efficient. Oh, sorry, more efficient. I just realised as I did that there that we wouldn't be able to weld it because anything that comes through here gets welded. So we'd have to push it out, weld it on the opposite side. So now what we need is a detector of some sort. No, that was the wrong button. Let's put you there. Let's link you up like that, and then we just need to join this all together. So I think 2 blocks here should do it. And let's see what happens now. So we create our row of 3, and what's interesting there is the timing that it does it at. It pushes the next one across, it's already coming up. But as soon as there's one in this gap, that's when we want these pistons to activate. So the only way there's ever going to be one there is by putting, yeah, that thing. Oh, and I rotated it. Which is pretty cool. Nope, not down there. So now that should activate all of them at the right time. Awesome. So then we weld it and we move them across. So, we might actually want to do this immediately because we do have this thing to put on top. But let's get the welders into position. Put you there. And like this. Let's see what happens now. So one falls down. Joe, we know how to account for this. We just need to put a block somewhere. That might actually be the welding block. Let's see what happens here. Then it's got to be welded itself, remember. And when does the next one come along? Gonna be close. Ooh, it was just in time. The thing is, we kind of need this to be higher than all of that, right? So what do? Do we lower this all by 1? I think we can just about do that. Okay, so we lower it all by 1. Thing is, though, it then... Why do we need to lower it? Let's just watch that again. It's at the right height. We need to lower it so when it gets pushed off the edge, it drops down onto another welder. Yeah, I think that's correct. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, this might do it. Let's have a look. Let's press the right button. Let's speed it up a little bit as well. So that next one comes in. Oh, I thought it wasn't going to do it for a second there, but it actually did it perfectly. And, oh. What happened there then? That made... Oh, it might be because of... Yeah, it might be because of where this just stops and doesn't go anywhere. Let's... Well, actually, we can leave little gaps now, can't we? Let's see what that looks like. Is there actually a problem with this? Or did we do it right? Oh. Oh, I see. It's this thing. It loops around twice. So the next one's already going up. And it pushes it in by itself. That is really bad, basically. That's not what we want at all, is it? So this right here was my intended solution, to add a piston at the bottom to push back the block that comes up here second. You can see it doesn't work, it just goes straight back around again, and we had the same problem. So I decided to put a sensor here, and the timing wasn't right. I'll speed it up. You can see still basically suffer from the same problem. So I was scratching my head for a while, and then I realised, well, maybe we just need to make it last even a little bit longer. So I put one there, and you can probably guess what's going to go wrong now. You can really see it if you look carefully. There you go. So that sensor also activates this. And then I was thinking, oh, this is never going to work, but we should definitely try it like this just to find out. And this is actually a solution. Look at this. And around it goes. And if you watch it here, look at the piston stay extended. And then it keeps that one all the way there at the back. And it works. It works perfectly. So now we can combine it with this over here. We've already separated these into 2 tracks. And I was just thinking, what we probably don't want to do is like separate them by 1 and then push this thing down the middle, so these 2 come in on either side, that one in the middle, because we've got to weld it and rotate it, and that'll probably be quite tricky to do, I think. It's possible it could be quite easy as well. But they're my thoughts anyway, so we're going to have to figure out a way to weld these together now, but very efficient start on either side. Okay, we did it. We did the level. Haven't finished building it yet, but I'm pretty sure from this point on it's smooth sailing, and I've done this in a way which is it's interesting. I don't know why this idea popped into my head, but I thought if we just levitate these things up above everything, they're going to be so easy to weld, and they're going to be in the right place, and then they're going to be so easy to move off. Actually, yeah, to move it off we're going to use a piston. Yep, all this is going to go easy. So let's have a watch. Let's speed it up as well. You can see over here we guide these into the correct path. Now they don't get there at the exact same timing, but everything just floats up. And then up the top here we can weld them together and then detect when it's there and move it on its way. And it's surprisingly easy. Now it may not do good for the footprint score, but I did hear that that doesn't count the y-axis like vertical. So I think this is just a cool way to solve the problem and could definitely be done better, and I think it'd be quite simple. So I'm going to put the blocks in place. Pretty sure I can do this in just one go. So we'll try and do it without making a mistake. I won't lie, I thought I'd done it, and I was checking it out, and then I realised I rotated it in the wrong direction, so now it's rotated in the right direction. I really like this one, just because of the way we assembled it at the end. Feels like I'm starting to see more and more solutions for our problems, so this is awesome, the way it all gets assembled. Also using minimal amounts of tracks in places as well, which is cool. Then it gets rotated, and off it goes. Onto the assembly. Or whatever that thing's called. And yeah, there we go, another level done. We got one more to do this video, and I'm really enjoying these. I gotta say that, really enjoying these puzzles. They felt like they haven't got more difficult. They just required a little bit more thought and perhaps planning. That's nice to see. That's really nice to see that the block score and the footprint is a little bit higher than the top one right there, because we came up with an interesting solution on that one. And that's what I love about this game. All the solutions are so different from one another. So now we have an anti-javelin point defense. Didn't we do... Yeah, we did a guided javelin in the beginning. So now we got to do an anti-javelin. Okay. Let's see what is in store for us this time. Hey, this one kind of looks like a little bit of a temple. Didn't they say earlier about the temple-shaped asteroid or something? I don't really pay too much attention to the logs. So I imagine down here, is there some sort of failure log? There is. Let's give it a listen while I look around.
Yes. Yes. It's working. Yes. Yes. Now, time to get out of... What is that? Oh no. They're here. They came back. God damn it! I'm hit. I'm spinning. I can't stabilize. I've got to crash. Oh.
Some crazy noises there. Gotta say, wasn't paying too much attention. I feel like this one doesn't look too difficult. I'm thinking what might be difficult here is the space you have leading up towards it. But then again, we're probably able to do most of it in this area over here. So let me just check we got those right. We need to make a 3 and a 2 and then attach those together. Yep. And there'll be some rotation involved, but so far this looks like it's going to be pretty simple. Join the two of these together. We'll bring these out and I'll try and find a way to weld them in that shape. Let's just see what happens when we build a little platform like, ooh, like not like that. Like this. Can we make... See there, look, for a moment we get the shape that we're after. So it's kind of about how do we get it to come off the tracks. Can we weld it in any way? I mean, we'll weld things together there, it's not going to do what we want. I reckon there's a way, we'll figure it out. Okay, this looks like an alright way to weld them, doesn't it? Not bad, except they kind of drop down over here in the perfect position. So, I think what we could actually get away with is making this a little bit smaller, having our welding going on over there. Let's see. Let's see how that does. Yeah, and then we've got to rotate it. We've got to rotate it in that direction around, and then elevate it above this thing, which I think is going to be quite simple because we've got the elevator block. So, what is that called again? It's called the lifter, yeah. So that one will raise it up above this thing. Well, we're not quite there yet. I've put this over by 1 in the wrong spot, but you can see. Let's go and double check. Oh, does it have to be rotated? Oh, the entire time I've done it the wrong way around. Do you know what? I think we can actually fix that quite quickly. So there's a couple of things here we're going to fix. Let's put the piston down. Let's move the conduit to this side. I think the same system will work with it. I don't see why it wouldn't. So we can then weld that shape there. Then it's going to get pushed along all the same, except it needed to be over by 1. So if we rotate it here, and then just follow the same principle. And what's cool about this is that they sort of share a similar space. Like it overlaps, but this one's going to get pushed directly onto that one. The other one's going to get pushed directly onto this one. And it's just cool. And I don't think you can have them sharing the same one, because you'll see this one over here gets pushed over. So it gets welded, gets rotated, gets pushed onto the right spot, goes up. This one comes along, and it's one block too far. Ha! Might have encountered a little bit of a problem then, because we can't put an elevator thing right there, otherwise it's going to push this one up too early. So we need to sort of push it back as well. How are we going to do that? If we push it back, it's going to fall back down, right? And now it gets puzzling. I could be well and truly wrong about this, but if we push it in from the side, we can get the length of it to overhang into this area, and then it gets pushed up. And I think that even might be a smaller blueprint at this point, or footprint. So yeah, it's going to go all the way across, and then get nudged under it, in the correct position. So then we need a welder, and a detector, to push it off to the side, and then it's going to go on its way. It might not be quite that simple though. Actually, if we push it off to the side, then all we need is a conveyor belt like floating over here. Drop it down, send it on its way. Yeah, I think we got this. Okay, we totally got this now. Not too much to report on here. We've got this kind of thing hanging out over here. Could possibly make that a little bit smaller. But there you go, there's the detection and the piston to push it off to the side. So that's going to bring it over enough to get away from the welder and drop it down over here. At which point I think all we need now is this. And hopefully this doesn't interfere with anything else, but I don't think it does. We can go every other block all the way to the finish line, except that's a little bit higher, so we've got to use something to elevate it again all the way down here. And there it goes. Alright, so then we have one of these, and at this point I'm not actually sure quite how we'll do this. We'll have to move it over a little bit as well, but we've just got to get it up. I imagine it's going to be another floating piston. Yeah, so here it comes, and it goes up. Then at some point we just sort of detect it and push it. And to do that, we're probably going to use this block on the end here that sticks out. So let's get it up to a reasonable height, I guess. That other bit's going to stick out as well. So I think you need a pillar like this. Then you're going to have your piston. And then you need to detect it on the side over here. And then you're going to have this thing. Let's see what that does. Alright, speed it all the way up. Come on. There it goes. We're above it. No, we're not. We failed miserably. We have to go up by one block. That's what we've got to do. And where's our conduit? Okay. And here it comes. Oh, what's going on? Flying up infinitely, it feels like. Okay, so we bring this all the way down. That worked. It pushed it over to the side, at which point we can simply have a floating thing right here. So I think all we need now... That being said, wherever we put this, it's going to be in the way of that again. So... Oh, this stuff's tricky. Luckily, we've got the model right here to count. Okay, so we're bringing it up to this height. We go across by 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then a fourth, because that's where it's going to bring it up to. So if we're detecting that bottom block, we need to go up. Right, that's the bottom block. Then that's the next one. I think this one, or maybe if I've gone one too high, then it has to go like that. I don't know. That looks right, but it could be wrong. Okay, we were one block out, but we've pretty much got this in the bag now. So let's bring this all the way up to the top. Let's put it like that. We know that the end of this thing is going to be here, so actually we need to rotate this once, rotate it twice, and now we've dispositioned it by one block. This is going to be where our output is, so let's go like that. And I think we just did it. Crazy stuff. I love it. Here we go. Oh, fail. We need another block just there. Yeah, that's it. Or maybe we needed one more, I'm not sure. But this time we'll find out. Up it goes, down across, and in it goes. Excellent. And we know that our production line back here is solid. I think we're going to get a real good score on this one. I really do. I really think that's a good one. I like the block score. The block score is definitely good. I think there was like 1 or 2 blocks we could have lowered. The cycle score isn't too great. But yeah, that was an awesome little run there. So now we got to go to our performance review. And what is it now, my great lords? You like the gun one? I like that one too. Oh, okay. Oh, so what do I get for that? Intercourse? Magazine? Oh my days, what's this? Can I pick it up? Coziest cabins for... What was that? Cotius? Freezer crowd pleaser. Interesting. Interesting stuff. The world's most useful prizes. Or not. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Sneak teaser for the next one. It's called Resource Site 902.42. You must be terribly excited. I'm joking. Ah, good stuff. Can't wait to get started on it. But that's it for this one. So as always, thank you very much for watching. And I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.